welcome back. I'm here again with my Sifu David. And David, I want to ask you if you could talk a little bit about Bong Sau. When and how to use Bong Sau and when not to use Bong Sau.
Okay. Well, basically, if I keep it very, very simple so the explanation doesn't take too long, Sifu always gave us a guideline that there were 3 good reasons to use Bong Sau, and if things that you're doing didn't include one of those 3 reasons, then Bong Sau wasn't the choice. There were better choices. The first of those was one that we discussed when we were training last night, that my idea when I throw a punch at my opponent is to break through his guard and hit him. But of course, it's not always a perfect situation, and he may intercept that punch and apply pressure. So as I've lost the access to the center line with my forearm because of his intercepting technique, there's only one safe way to change this situation, and that is to shift his line of energy by using Bong Sau. So basically what the Bong Sau is a way of continuing down the center line, but not with the end of your arm, but with the middle of your arm, so that you can once again get back to using the end of your arm, because we hit harder with these actions than we can with the elbow from such a range. So we would call this one Yi Bong, shifting Bong Sau. Its purpose is to get me from one side of a problem to the opposite side and allow for an immediate counter. We're not doing Bong Sau in order to pose for the cameras and hold a position. If you hold this position, it's a big danger. In Cantonese, there's an expression, Bong Sau Bat Lao. It means Bong Sau never stays. So you never go boom and stop. If you use a Bong Sau action, move to the next technique as quickly as you can. There's our first reason. The second reason he gave us is that if your hands are not placed where they should be, in other words, they're not up and ready, and the attack comes before you're in a position to deal with it from a better line, then you need to intercept with the fastest possible defensive action. If my hands are down and Morten throws a punch at me, I can't get my Pak Sau up faster than his punch, because his line of distance is much shorter than mine. If I try to do a Tan Sau against the same punch, he'll probably get there first. If I try to do a Jat Sau against the same punch, he'll get there first. There's only one technique that has a chance. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. That's important to realize. There are no guarantees in combat, but there's one technique that has a chance, and that's Bong Sau. Because if he throws that same punch, the Bong Sau can get there faster because it's only moving from the elbow position. It doesn't require the hand to get above the attack before it goes forward. We call this action Pao Bong. Pao literally means to throw something. So when the punch comes, I throw my elbow. But again, I don't stay here. There must be an immediate follow-up. If I'm at the right distance, if we're close enough, then the follow-up will be immediate from the next hand. If I've got the distance wrong and I'm a little bit further away, it'll probably involve Lap Sau, which is why you practice the Lap Sau drill, to teach you when the range is wrong, how to bridge the distance. The third one is if your opponent grabs your arm and tries to pull you off balance. If Morten was to grab my arm and pull me, either way, it wouldn't matter. If he grabs my arm and I resist him, I'm going to get pulled out of position. And obviously, he's not grabbing my arm to say hello. He's grabbing my arm because he wants to smash me. So I can't afford to resist. If he grabs my arm and pulls me, what I need to do is go with it so that I destroy his balance. Much the same as when we pull on a rope together and I let go, he would fall. We call this Bong Sau Dai Bong, or lower Bong Sau. It actually has 2 applications. One is against that kind of situation. So if he tries to pull me off balance, I can use the bong to collapse that position and move in. The other application of Dai Bong is, again, if the hands are down and he tries to attack my body. If he goes for my body, then Dai Bong works in the same way as Pao Bong. This is why, as a way of explaining why in the Chum Kill form we do the 2 at the same time. We're practicing 2 completely different applications in the one instance, so we're saving time. It's economical to learn that way. Now, in terms of the structure of Bong Sau, there are very, very typical errors that are made in the Wing Chun world. One is people who bring their elbows up. Now remember, you're using Bong Sau because a punch is coming in to hit you. If that punch is coming in to hit me, even if it's coming in at chin or chest level, if my Bong Sau goes up, all I'm doing is making it hit me at a higher position. Plus I have to work especially hard, because if there's a lot of energy in that hand, if I lift, it's my muscle versus his muscle. And my muscle, quite frankly, is not going to match his. He's bigger, stronger, and in this case, much younger than I am. All right? But no matter how strongly he comes through there, if my elbow goes forward, he has trouble moving me. I'm not using any energy. It's all Morten's energy. The harder he pushes, the easier he moves. So long as I'm in my stance and I'm using my structure, he tries to get past. He will push himself into a bad position. That leads us to the second problem, where a lot of people, when they Bong Sau, take the elbow out. Now again, if you take the elbow out, there's no structural strength. You're relying on the strength of your forearm and upper arm muscles to be able to contain that strength across this bridge. The elbow joint is like a bridge. If you're relying on the muscles on both sides, somewhere in there, if he pushes hard enough, he's going to weaken that bridge. So the Bong Sau should always be about the elbow going forward. Then no matter how hard he pushes on it, force it away. See, my hand is completely soft. All right, I'll do my Grandmaster impression. All right, his whole weight is on there and he can't beat it. That's because I'm not using my shoulder. All right, and no, I was only joking about the Grandmaster stuff. All right, respect to all. The fact I'm pointing my upper arm at him, and that's the key. The word bong in Bong Sau has been misinterpreted for so many years as a wing arm, like some kind of bird flapping its wings. You need to go back in time. In Chinese language, the original meaning of this name, this word, is not a wing. There is an interpretation of that in the current dictionaries, but the original meaning of the word bong, or in Mandarin, bang, is the upper arm bone, which, if I remember my anatomy, is the humerus bone. All right, ulnar, radius, humor. All right, so what I'm doing is not moving my elbow out or lifting my arm up. I'm in fact sending my elbow forward, and I'm using my upper arm bone like the barrel of a gun. If I want to shoot Morten, I need to point the gun at Morten, not at the camera. That would wreck the video. So what I need to do when the pressure is too strong is re-establish the center line through the Bong Sau, through the use of this bone so that it points at him. That way his energy's gone and I have a way in. These are the key things about Bong Sau where people fail to make good use of it. One of the worst of all is when they let the hand that's trying to defend come back. If you bring that hand back, of course you're going to get hit. You're giving up essential space. You notice if I threw a punch and I got that far and Morten tries to push it out the way, if you measure it, my hand is still the same distance. I can't afford to withdraw even a few centimeters because that weakens my structure. So just like in single hand Chi Sau, which is where you learn the principle very, very clearly. If I do the palm strike and he's beaten me at that point, I don't now take my hand back because I've just given up what I occupied. That was my territory. So I keep my territory, and you punch, I stay out there. So all this is still mine, and now the punch misses. So if people explore how they're using their Bong Sau and compare it to some of these ideas, they may find they can make their Bong Sau much more effective and much more useful. That's the Bong Sau and Wing Chun way.
Wow, great, thanks.
Welcome.